Hey, isn't this great? Hey, it's football season again. Well, kind of. It's the preseason. Hi, I'm Mr. Moohead, and this is part of our series 17 years and running, or is it 18 now? I lose track of Cleveland Browns halftime and post-game shows. And this is the first halftime show, and I'm doing them throughout the preseason because, again, the white marshmallow of hope, he is single-handedly the vision of positivity for this Cleveland Browns football team. And, I've been watching my cohort and panelist, Brian, in the chat room, literally having a stroke by himself. And hey, the Browns are ahead 13-0 at the half. And I don't care about the score. I'm looking at individual players, right? And I think that's more significant to me than looking at the score. I'm also looking at the fact of how both teams are being coached. And what I see is that once again, Stefanski has even the second, third, fourth down. I mean, I don't even know who Frank's tight end 87 is. He's down to the fifth string as far as I know on the depth charts and will be gone very quickly. But these guys are playing disciplined. I mean, they're not making, with the exception of Hudson, who jumped off sides once, or actually it was an illegal motion, but I think that they've done, fundamentally not hurting themselves, not killing themselves. The offensive line doesn't look very good. I mean, there is no gelling amongst those players. And honestly, the Kelly is not an NFL grade running back. If you saw more Dearness Johnson, then, you would probably see a little bit better. But no, the offensive line is not blocking very well at the line of scrimmage. But with that said, I will say that they are firing off on the ball, and the Jaguars have been literally sucked into multiple screen passes, and they're way over committing. And it's not something that you would be able to get away with in the NFL. The Jaguars look like a losing football team to me, and their announcers, it's really kind of interesting. They're looking at, the positive side of things, and they got, Shad Khan, the owner, telling us all these great things about what's happening in the organization. But to be very honest with you, the eye test tells me that they are just really putting all of their pressure straight ahead, straight forward. And they're getting into our backfield, and handing the ball off isn't working. But obviously, all you have to do is play action these guys, and they're fucking dead meat. That's what I see. All right. As far as our defensive line is concerned, again, these are not guys. We're seeing Malvo in the game. I'm looking real quickly because I'm getting no help from the announcers whatsoever. To see who's playing out there. And it is really annoying because they don't even know the names of the Cleveland players. So, but I have seen Malvo out there on defense. I know on the offensive line, I'm seeing Chris Hubbard out there, and he doesn't look particularly good. On the defensive line, there was a guy who I don't even know who number 92 is, to be very honest with you. And he almost got a strip sack in the very beginning of the game against Trevor Lawrence. And I think this is probably very, very true. The Jags look like the Browns of old. I would tend to agree with that. Gardner Minshew did not look like a veteran quarterback. Hell, whoever number 69 is off the defensive line, he tripped over his own feet and he was unblocked, and he just leaped up in the air, and Minshew overthrew his receiver by a foot and a half. A lot of things not going so well for the Jaguars. The Browns, on the other hand, it's really funny watching Lauletta and watching Case Keenum. Lauletta has a better arm. The ball gets to people quicker. Case Keenum does not have a strong arm, but he has a sense where to go with the ball, and you're not going to score touchdowns with that quarterback. Case Keenum is strictly a game manager, so as long as you understand that, you're not going to get the deep ball. Now, rookies who are making names of themselves and for themselves. And by the way, people, let me know when the second half begins so I can get out and I can digest that before we come back for the post game show. I mean, obviously, the first thing that I note is that Greg Newsome was beaten twice, and both were strength issues. The first one, both by Jones, the veteran receiver. On the long pass, 35 yards, there was no pass rush whatsoever on Trevor Lawrence. He could have had 3 lunches back there. But with that said, the coverage was good by Newsome, but he was outfought. And that is a young body against a bigger, stronger body. Also, he was shaken off on another pattern that he gave up yardage to. Same receiver, Jones, and that's not an easy play for a young player to make, who's just playing in his first NFL game. I don't know how many starters really the Jacksonville Jaguars are playing either, because I don't have a lot of familiarity with their team. But that is Brian. That's Hudson, and no, he doesn't look good. And I disagree. I don't think that he looks strong. I think Newsome has good coverage technique, though, and had Lawrence not had forever to throw that pass, so there was really no window to fit that ball in. Really a good physical catch by Jones. And, I'm splitting hairs here. Koromoa with a sack. Obviously, they got him into the game in a situation where he was playing a linebacking position, but blitzed from that position, and he got through. Somebody on the defensive line got close enough to the quarterback to make him kind of step forward into Koromoa, and Koromoa brought him down. So again, the questions that I'm having about his weight and his ability to hit, he got the quarterback on the ground, and that's the important thing, because we've seen way too many times where quarterbacks escape the grasp when we get close to them. Do I think the red zone play calling needs work? No, it's a touchdown to Kadarrell Hodge. He's got to catch that pass. Plain and simple, that ball was on his numbers, and he dropped the ball. That had nothing to do with defense. I like the call. And then the play that went after that did not work. The ball was thrown way behind Dearness Johnson, and I don't think even if he would have been able to catch it, he would not have been able to get into the end zone. As far as, Demetric Felton, this is a mixed bag, because we're getting what we suggested on the Moohead Radio weekly programs, is that he obviously, if they're looking at Kelly as I don't think they're looking at him for any reason, but we have not seen Demetric Felton do anything but A, return a punt, and B, run pass patterns. It's still going to be very hard for Felton to make this team as a receiver. As a third down running back, that's going to be difficult as well, to carry a guy just for that reason. Bradley, of course, is not going to be a punt returner, and it's going to, Felton and Natson, and Natson just looks lightweight to me, and I just don't think there is a big durability factor with JoJo Natson. And he doesn't look explosive either. So I don't know. The word is that Mac Wilson is injured his shoulder, according to Tom Withers of AP. And they didn't mention it on the broadcast. Mac Wilson's out. He's got a shoulder injury. So not so fast, Best Impact. Not so fast. Mac Wilson has had trouble staying on the field. So, That's a good question. Urban, he's not in an urban market anymore. He's in Jacksonville. They just didn't look like they had anything gelled going on, and nobody really looked comfortable, to be honest. And they're not getting any of the pressure that they would be getting if any of our starting or borderline starting players were playing. I think that, and again, it's easy to say this, Jim, but the question is, how are you going to carry him? I mean, right off the bat, I mean, Higgins is catching everything thrown his way, and Donovan Peoples-Jones made a couple of wonderful catches, and he's catching everything that's thrown his way, and it's being thrown his way by a quarterback where the ball isn't getting there nearly as quickly as it would if Baker Mayfield were throwing it. I like the job that Felton's doing. I'm just wondering how he's going to fit onto the roster if all he's doing is running third down patterns. Not sure that that's enough. They got to get a closer look at him running the football. If there's any intention of that ever happening, I don't know. Right off the bat, a 77-yard kickoff return is the fault of Cody Parkey. And I don't know, did he halfway whiff that ball? That ball took a bounce on the 15-yard line. I'm sick and tired of the short kickoffs that can allow big plays to happen. And, when Chase McLaughlin kicked the ball off about 6 yards deep into the end zone, we drove them back. They ended up with a holding penalty and got pushed further back. That's going to be a competition to keep your eyes on, man, because Cody Parkey, to me, is a detriment, not only in the clutch, but kicking the ball off in a situation where you don't need to be giving up returns at all. So that makes me kind of wonder. Good night to Big Lurker UK. I appreciate it. It's late there. I get it, man. But thanks for stopping by. We love you here. I'm looking at other players in the game who are standing out to me. I mean, I think Lauletta, the ball comes out of his hand pretty well. I don't think that, but again, I'm seeing these guys are being coached. They don't look like they're, the offensive players look like they know where they're going. Janovich caught, a couple of passes, and that's good. Blocking fullback, I think that's kind of, his role. And, again, if you're carrying a blocking fullback, how does Demetric Felton make the roster? I really don't know. We got a sighting of Koromo, and that's nice. I would like to see him on the field a little bit more to see what he does in pursuit against the running game. That's going to be very important because honestly, it's not like we look great on our line. The one thing I can say is LeCount III should have intercepted that pass, but what was nice about the play is MJ Stewart was not beaten, which he was consistently beaten last year. He was not beaten on the deep ball, but the help that came over to him by LeCount coming over there and timing the ball, he's got to catch that ball and intercept it. But it's better than what I saw last year, where there would be no help on the sidelines whatsoever. I remember so many balls that were caught on the sidelines where there was no secondary help. Chad, you may be right about this. Natson, he ain't Joshua Cribbs. Let's just put it that way, okay? I did not see Tebow. What did Tebow do? I didn't see anyone genuflecting and praying on the field, so I didn't notice him. Did they even throw to him? I don't even know what number he wears. So I really don't know. So I would say that Felton has an inside track if Natson doesn't make the roster, because he's obviously able to contribute more. So I don't know. They're talking about Tebow in the chat room, but I didn't notice anything at all. He came for the last play? No wonder. I wasn't sitting in front of it. What did he do? Did he whip his dick out on the field and start praying? I have no idea. I'm so sick of Tim Tebow. It's like that reeks of publicity stunt. What did he do on the last play of the half? Did he just run out onto the field and make a sign of the cross? I have no idea. So tell me, what did he do? Because I missed that play because I was coming in here to start the program. Thank you. And it's nice having you as a viewer too. This is, something that I'm kind of been doing for such a long time. It just seems like a natural thing to do. Tebow did nothing. That would be pretty much it. Chad is pointing out, the over the middle pattern, the first completion was real nice. He used his body real nice. Again, what I'll say about DPJ, he is not genuinely a deep threat without other people on the field. That, when he's the primary receiver, it's difficult for him to get downfield. However, if you've got OBJ, you've got Jarvis Landry, you've got the other folks out on the field, then he can operate and he can fool people, who are either not paying attention to him or that have single coverage on him. But he uses his body well, and he has good hands, and he catches the ball. We can't afford to have Kadarius Hodge dropping passes, and the touchdown pass. I mean, Davis went way up for that ball, and that was nice to see. I agree with the play calling. The worst comes to worst, you go for the touchdown. It's incomplete in the back of the end zone. And then, again, you give Chase McLaughlin a chance to make the team by kicking a field goal from a little bit further out this time. So that, that's what I see from this. Again, I don't know that Damian Davis, I don't even know where he comes from. But isn't that great that a guy gets into the game and gets to show something like that? He sure as hell shows he has a vertical leap, and the guy who was supposedly covering him really lost sight of him. I mean, got turned around and twisted around, and that looked like the Browns secondary from last year. Honest to God, that looked positively Sendejo-esque. All right. And the Browns, having over 200 yards passing. I don't know what the Jaguars announcers are watching, but what they're watching is their team being blown out by second, third, and fourth stringers. That's what I see. And the running backs have, Jim, you're absolutely right. Over 100 yards of receiving from the running backs. And that, again, all you have to do in a play action sense is just send them out. I mean, and these are center screens. They caught them on a wide screen, but on about 2 center screens where they just ran the ball right, caught it, and once kept going straight down the field. And there was nobody there because they were bringing more people, and the middle of the field looked wide open. And that is not good defensive concept. I got to get the hell out of here because the game's back on. Hey, we're going to do a post-game show. You know that. It's right after the game. So be here. And panelists, if you go over and check out, I'm going to put that up as far as the location of the show. We'll have panelist action as well. Just look in the show description. I'm getting back to the second half. Thanks for checking this out. I'll see you after the game. Hasta la vista, Passerheads, for now.